What's your name?
Will McMorran.
What's the date today? The 18th of January 2022.
The 18th of January 2023. The 18th of January 2024. The 18th of January 2025.
How old are you? I'm 17 years old.
I'm 18 years old. I'm 19 years old. I'm 20 years old.
How are you? I'm good. I mean, summer holidays right now, so that's great. I'm feeling very relaxed, not feeling too much pressure because of, I can just do nothing right now if I don't want to do anything. But I'm feeling nervous and excited for uni.
I'm good. I'm great, actually. I think I am most of the time. Generally, I'm pretty optimistic. I'm good. I'm pretty much always good. I'm good. I'm well. I'm splendid.
What's your favourite movie right now? Maybe Spider-Man Far From Home or Tick Tick Boom? One of the two.
I haven't watched a movie in a while. I watched a film last year, Super Size Me. I love that documentary, it's really cool. I haven't watched a movie in 2 months, at least. And the last movie I watched was The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I liked that one, so let's say it's my favourite right now. I don't know the last time that I watched a movie that I can think of in particular. My favourite movie right now is the Daisy Jones and the Six TV show.
What's your favourite song or album right now? Cherry by Harry Styles. Favourite album is Tickets to My Downfall by Machine Gun Kelly, I'd say.
Song or album? Album, I guess Harry's House. I think I said Fine Line last year. I have no idea. I'm gonna look at my Spotify. I'll say Stick Season by Noah Khan and Wasteland Baby by Hosier. My favourite song is probably Pink Pony Club by Chaperone or Home by the Good Neighbours. My favourite album is probably Harry's House by Harry Styles.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? Japan is a big one because I've never been to Asia, as well as maybe Canada.
Canada, probably. Or maybe somewhere South America because I've been learning Spanish, so Argentina. They just won the World Cup, so it'd be pretty exciting to go there. Maybe Topor and do some prep for the half Ironman coming up. I would go to Port Douglas in Australia, in Cairns.
What is your biggest goal right now? Biggest goal, I guess, kind of transitioning to uni life well. I'm a month away from that, so yeah, I guess that'd be it.
I guess I'd have to say, like, just triathlon training, if that like kind of encompasses it all. I feel like that's the thing that I think about the most. I'm just obsessed with it at the moment. I guess as a more specific defined goal, completing an Olympic distance triathlon at the end of this year, hopefully in under 2.5 hours. That's the goal I'm kind of working with at the moment, so I guess I'll say that. My biggest goal right now is the half Ironman in Topor, qualifying for the World Champs. Finishing probably first or maybe second in my age group. In the top kind of 5 of the whole race, probably. It's a big ask. My biggest goal right now is to finish my first Ironman triathlon and do it well and feel good about it and start establishing a life outside of an education system, even though I'm still doing uni for 1 more year. Plant the seeds, lay the foundation.
How has the last year changed you? I don't know, I guess I feel like I'm probably more open to stuff. Like, I'm more open to new opportunities and to things not necessarily going how I expect them to go. I'm a lot more independent and I think more responsible. I think I'm more appreciative as well. I think the last year's also given me some good mental fortitude. I don't know, it's hard to say. I feel like I've changed a lot in the last year. I don't know whether that's because of age or just quite a few things happened in the last year. But I feel like my perspective is quite different. My outlook on life is a bit different. I think I just do now, everything is about having a good time and doing things and spending my day doing things that I feel like matter and matter to me above all else. I'm better at relaxing and not always having to do stuff, and I'm better at being content with whatever life throws at you. I'm a lot less serious, give less fucks about
I give less fucks about what people think.
What's the most important thing to you right now? Capturing my memories and just capturing how my life is right now and figuring out cool ways to do that, which I'll then be able to look back on in the future and be able to remember everything that kind of went on during this time of my life.
I think just making sure that I enjoy what I do every day. I feel like I do. I feel like I really get, great enjoyment out of every single day.
The most important thing to me right now is probably my training and it going well, because I've got a really big goal and I'm really focused on it, so trying to do the best that I can.
The most important thing to me right now is probably good vibes. Feeling like my days are filled with, or like when I look back on a day, I'm like, oh, that was a great day, I'm glad I lived that day.
What's your drive or purpose? I guess that's kind of my drive as well. My drive is to be able to satisfy my future self when I'm looking back, to look back on good times that I captured well.
This is kind of a very similar question, I guess. I think last year I kind of said the same thing, and I think this year I'm kind of going to say the same thing as well. I guess, you're going to be driven by what is the most important thing to you. So I guess the way that my having enjoyment of every day, which is the most important thing to me, that kind of manifests itself into me being driven to train every day. I guess my drive is to make sure I'm making and doing stuff that makes me happy every day.
Sort of to prove to myself that I can do the things that I say that I will do, even if they seem very difficult to do. I feel like I just want to have higher aspirations than what a lot of people have, because I think people limit themselves, and I think I have limited myself in the past, and I want to just set my goals really high, and then it almost requires you to put in a lot of work to get there, because it seems ridiculous to aim that high if you're not putting in the hard work. But then even with the hard work, it's still like, this is tough, but also enjoying the hard work.
What is my drive or purpose? I guess it's whatever at the time I think is the thing that's going to be giving my days good vibes, and filling my days with joy, and making me want to wake up and achieve something and kind of go after a goal. So I guess right now the kind of most obvious one is the Ironman, and just training for that, and I guess making cool videos as well about what I can get up to within that, and kind of outside of that as well, having more adventures in my day-to-day life.
If you had 1 year left to live, what would you do? If I had 1 year left to live, I'd travel a lot, see a lot of the world, go with friends and family and just travel.
I think I said the same thing last year, and it's just travel. I feel like that's one of the coolest things you can do in life.
Probably the same that what I'm doing now, but just with, I guess, no worries about the future and things, I wouldn't feel any pressure to be successful at anything. I'll just kind of be into an enjoyment to the max. I guess traveling, and I feel like that always boils down to traveling for me.
I think I would travel, but I think I would travel around New Zealand and maybe Australia, like a bit closer to home, so I could still spend time at home with my 1 year and kind of enjoy that time as well, and that appreciate the life that I've lived thus far in the surroundings where I lived it.
What are your biggest insecurities right now? That I won't be able to find a good group of close friends in uni like how I've got now, from high school. Is that an insecurity? I guess so.
Something that I've been thinking about recently, like Dunning-Kruger effect. Like 80% of the population thinks they're like better than average, which is obviously impossible. And I do think I have a fear that I am quite susceptible to that, but I'm really trying to not be.
Very rarely, I think, maybe when I have a bad training session, I kind of think, maybe the kind of self-image I have of myself at being quite successful and quite hard-working and determined isn't that accurate, but very rarely I actually feel like I'm quite secure. And I don't know whether that's maybe a big change in the last year, kind of going back. I think it maybe is. I kind of feel content and satisfied with what's going on.
I don't know. Nothing springs to mind.
What's your biggest regret? That I didn't start doing stuff earlier. Like, I didn't start doing like performing in film at an earlier age. Like, I was like 14, 15 when I really started that. I wish I started that much younger. I wish I started doing like photo every day, diary entry every day, daily vlog, all that stuff. I wish I started it earlier and had more of my life captured. But yeah, I mean, that's my biggest regret, I'd say, at this stage.
I definitely think this year I've tried, whenever I think of something as a regret, kind of try and reframe that, because the whole thing about looking back is you obviously can't do anything about it. So I think I've really tried this year to not see things as regrets, but just see them as, I guess, a learning experience. But I think I know what I said last year, and I think it's kind of the same but different. I think last year I talked about wanting to get into film and kind of arts stuff earlier, whereas this year I wish I got into stuff earlier, but this time it's kind of endurance sports. But even then I'm like, I am where I'm at now, so may as well just go from there. So I think there's a better way to look at it.
I think that is the biggest thing that's changed in the last year, is I try not to think about negative things. And I feel like actually maybe I said the exact same thing last year to this question. But I just don't have any energy to think about that kind of thing. I don't really care. And whenever I catch myself kind of thinking, oh, what if blah, 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 take training, what if I started cycling earlier, what if I was more dedicated to swimming from a younger age, what if I started running earlier, blah, blah, blah. It's like, kind of just want to stop myself thinking that, because I didn't, and there's no point in thinking about that. I could better spend my time and my energy thinking about, well, what can I do from this point on, because that's all that I can change and influence, and that's the only thing that's going to have an impact on my life. So
My biggest regret is that I still sometimes get caught up in doing things that I think I should do rather than doing things that I want to do, and kind of doing things because I perceive that other people think I should do those things, rather than just doing what I think I should do and doing what I want to do. And I do that all the time. In fact, I do that rarely, but I want to not do that at all.
What do you want your life to look like a year from now? To have done like the things I said about in like my tribe and my goals and stuff. To have done those things, to have had a year where I've captured stuff very well, and I've made good memories as well, not just not focused too much on capturing the stuff that I then don't do anything. Actually go out, do stuff, create good memories and capture them.
Kind of quite similar, I feel like, which I think is quite a good thing. I feel like I want to be doing the same stuff, just a bit better.
kind of the same. I want, yeah, very good vibes right now. I've always kind of been apprehensive about change, so maybe that's kind of that part of me speaking and saying, well, what is now is great, and I kind of always say that, but what is now is great, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So yeah, similar, very, very similar.
I think that I want my life to look similar, but I want to have some things, some decisions made about the sort of immediate future, the next 2 or 3 years after that 1 year, or at least just sort of to know
in 1 year's time, I want to know what I'm doing 3 months from that point, because 1 year's time will be quite a critical decision-making time for what the next sort of phase of my life is going to be like. So I want to, in the next year, nail down some decisions and sort of have a plan, have a rough map that I'm following. That is all the questions. See you in a year.